She burst through the chapel doors in a blood-soaked cleaning uniform, blood that wasn't hers, as the Mafia boss's coffin stood sealed. Heads turned at her scream. He's still alive! But when his son pried it open, what lay inside shocked even Seoul's toughest killers. Welcome to K-Afro Stories, besties. Please like, share, and subscribe. The coffin is empty, except for a phone, screen glowing with a single message. If you want him back, she stays. Every eye in the chapel turns to Mirabel Kingsley, the cleaning woman still gasping for air in the doorway, her dark skin stark against the white walls, her uniform soaked in someone else's blood. She doesn't know these people, doesn't know their world, doesn't know that 3 hours ago she witnessed something that should have killed her. And now she's the only bargaining chip between a kidnapped Mafia king and the son who will burn Seoul to find him. Seo Jun-woo, the heir, the one they call the Ice Prince, stares at her with eyes that could freeze fire. He's beautiful in the way sharp things are beautiful, dangerous, untouchable. His suit is perfect, his face is carved marble, but his hands, when he lifts the phone from the coffin, tremble just enough for her to see the crack in his armor. "Who are you?" His voice is soft. That's worse than shouting. Soft means control. Control means he's deciding whether she lives or dies. "I clean the Jade Tower penthouse," she says, and her accent, her Nigerian lilt, marks her as even more out of place here among Seoul's criminal elite. "I was finishing the master suite when men broke in. They took him. I hid in the bathroom. They didn't see me, but I saw them drag him out. I saw the blood. I ran here because the invitation was on his desk, and I thought..." Her voice breaks. "I thought he was dead. I thought I could tell someone. I didn't know. You saw their faces. It's not a question." Junwoo moves toward her, each step measured, predatory. The crowd parts for him like water. No one speaks. No one breathes. This is his show now. "I saw everything," Mirabel whispers. "I saw the one who gave the orders, the scar on his neck, the way he laughed when..." She stops. She can still hear that laugh, can still smell the copper tang of blood. Junwoo stops inches from her, so close she can see the flecks of gold in his dark eyes, can feel the heat radiating from him despite the coldness of his expression. He's studying her like she's a code he needs to crack, a problem that doesn't fit the usual patterns. "You're terrified," he says quietly, "but you came anyway. Why?" "Because he was kind to me once." The words tumble out before she can stop them. "Your father. Last week I was crying in the service elevator. My mother's medical bills, I couldn't..." He got on. "I tried to hide it, but he saw. He asked. I don't know why I told him. I don't know why he listened, but he did. And then 3 days later, an envelope appeared in my locker. Cash. Enough for the surgery. No note. But I knew." Something flickers across Junwoo's face. Surprise, maybe. Or recognition of something he thought his father had lost long ago. "He never mentioned it," Junwoo says. "I think he didn't want to." The phone buzzes. Junwoo doesn't look away from her when he reads the message aloud. "We know she saw. We know she's there. Send her to the old factory on Pier 9, alone, midnight, or we start sending pieces." "No." The word comes from an older man in the front row, someone important enough that people listen. "It's a trap. They want leverage. Once they have the girl, they'll use her to control you. Kill your father anyway. You can't..." "I'm going," Mirabel interrupts. Every head swivels toward her again. She must look insane. This curvy black woman in a blood-soaked uniform announcing she's walking into the lion's den. But her mother taught her about debts, about honor, about the weight of kindness in a cruel world. "He helped me when he didn't have to. I'm not going to hide while they..." "You don't understand what these men do." Junwoo cuts her off. His jaw is tight. You don't understand what they'll do to you before they kill you. This isn't gratitude. This is suicide. Then stop me. The challenge hangs in the air. Around them, the chapel has become a war room, men and women in expensive clothes with weapons hidden in silk and shadows, all waiting for their prince to make the call that will define his reign. His father's empire is watching. His father's enemies are waiting. Junwoo makes a decision that surprises them all. You don't go alone, he says. You go with me. The room erupts. Protests, arguments, strategic objections. The heir doesn't walk into traps. The heir doesn't risk himself for a civilian, a cleaning woman, a name stranger. But Junwoo silences them with a single raised hand. They want her. They'll get her. But they'll also get me. And they'll learn why my father taught me everything he knows. Later, in the car, the city sliding past in neon and shadow, Mirabel realizes she's shaking. Adrenaline crash. Fear. The surreal horror of the last few hours finally catching up. Junwoo hands her a bottle of water without a word. She takes it. Drinks. Tries to steady her breathing. Why are you really doing this? She asks. You could send anyone. You could send an army. I could. He's not looking at her. He's looking at the streets, the route, calculating. Always calculating. But they specified you, which means they think you matter, which means my father made you matter somehow, and I need to understand why. Also, now he does look at her, and the intensity of his gaze steals her breath. You walked into a room full of killers to save a man you barely know. That's not normal. That's not fear. That's something else. And I've learned to pay attention when someone shows me something I don't expect. You think I'm part of this? I think you're a variable I can't account for. I don't like variables. The factory looms ahead, skeletal against the night sky, rusted and abandoned. Junwoo's phone buzzes with instructions. Second floor, northwest corner. Come unarmed. Come alone, meaning just the two of them, or his father dies. They leave the car. The building smells like decay and old metal. Every shadow could hide a gun. Every sound could be the last thing they hear. Mirabel's heart hammers against her ribs. Junwoo moves like smoke beside her, silent, alert, predatory. She realizes suddenly that he's not scared at all. He's hunting. The northwest corner opens into a vast space, empty except for a single chair in the center. On the chair, Seo Dai-wan, the man whose funeral they interrupted. The Mafia. King. He's alive, barely, beaten and bloodied but breathing. Conscious. And when he sees his son, something like relief and horror wore across his battered face. Junwoo. No. You shouldn't have. Where are they? Junwoo's voice is arctic. The answer comes from the shadows. Right here. 6 men step into the light, weapons drawn. But it's the 7th man, the one in the center who makes Mirabel's blood freeze. The scar on his neck. The laugh she heard in the penthouse. He's smiling now, that same sick smile. The Ice Prince himself, the scarred man says. And the pretty little witness. Perfect. See, your father made a mistake. He showed mercy when he should have shown strength. Gave money to some crying cleaner instead of protecting his own interests. Made him soft. Made him sloppy. Made him vulnerable. So we decided it was time for new leadership. Your father's era ends tonight, and yours never begins. You're wrong about one thing, Junwoo says calmly, too calmly. My father wasn't soft, he was strategic. You think he gave her money out of kindness? Now he looks at Mirabel, and something in his expression shifts, sharpens. Show them. Mirabel doesn't understand. She's not part of this. She's just... The envelope, Junwoo says quietly. What else was in it besides cash? She thinks back. The locker. The envelope. The money, yes, but also a card. A black card with a phone number. She'd thought it was nothing. A mistake. But now, standing here in this warehouse of death, she understands. The card is in her pocket. Has been there all week. Tracking device? Emergency beacon? She doesn't know what, but the way Junwoo is watching her says he does. My father never did anything without 3 backup plans, Junwoo continues, his eyes never leaving the scarred man. You think you tracked us here? We led you here. You think you have the upper hand? You're standing in a building we've owned for 5 years. Every exit is sealed. Every window is covered. My people have been in position since sunset. You were so focused on the girl you forgot to wonder why she survived, why she witnessed, why she ran to exactly the right place, at exactly the right time. The scarred man's smile falters. Just a fraction. Just enough. She's not a cleaner, Junwoo says softly, dangerously. She's a test. My father wanted to see who was getting sloppy. Who would bite at obvious bait? Who would be stupid enough to kidnap him thinking they could control his empire? Congratulations. You passed. Now you fail. Lights flood the space. Doors crash open. Junwoo's people pour in like a tidal wave. Armed, precise, overwhelming. The scarred man reaches for his weapon, but Junwoo is faster. So much faster. Moving like violence incarnate, disarming him before he can blink. The others fall just as quickly. Tactical team efficiency meeting criminal arrogance. It's over in 90 seconds. In the aftermath, Mirabel stands frozen, trying to process. Junwoo is cutting his father's bonds, checking wounds, calling for medical. The older man catches his son's wrist, says something too quiet for her to hear. Junwoo's expression does something complicated, something almost vulnerable, before his mask slides back into place. Then he's walking toward her. I'm sorry, he says, and the apology is so unexpected she almost doesn't register it. I lied. You're not bait. You're not part of this. But I needed them to think you might be. Needed them to show their hand. My father really did give you that money out of kindness. The card was just a card. But they didn't know that. And their paranoia became their downfall. You used me. Her voice is shaking. Anger, relief, adrenaline. She can't tell anymore. Yes. I could have died. No. He's close now. Closer than he needs to be. And she can see past the ice to something burning underneath. I would have died first. Every gun in this building was aimed to protect you before me. Every contingency plan put you above strategic value. My father made you matter, so you mattered. And then, he stops, swallows, continues quieter. And then you walked into that chapel covered in blood and terrified and brave, and you made yourself matter in a different way. What way? He doesn't answer. Can't answer, maybe. Or won't. But the way he's looking at her, the way his carefully controlled breathing has gone shallow, the way his hands are clenched at his sides like he's stopping himself from reaching for her, that answer's enough. Later, hours later, after statements and medical checks and the quiet efficiency of cleaning up a criminal coup, Mirabel finds herself in the back of Junwoo's car again. He's driving this time. No destination, just motion, processing. I need to go home, she says finally. Check on my mother. Make sure she's okay. I already sent people. She's safe. Sleeping. Doesn't know anything happened. You sent people to my mother? I sent people to protect her. The moment you became visible in my world, you became a target. Everyone you love became a target. That's how this works. The casual way he says it, like it's normal, like this is just life. It should frighten her. It does frighten her. But there's something else underneath the fear. something she doesn't want to name yet. I'm not part of your world, she says. No, you're not. He pulls the car over, sudden enough that she braces against the door. They're on a bridge overlooking the Han River, the city glittering below like fallen stars. Junwoo turns to face her, and the Ice Prince facade has cracked completely. What's underneath is raw, uncertain, almost desperate. But I want you to be. You don't even know me. I know you risked your life for a stranger's gratitude. I know you walked into a chapel full of monsters to scream the truth. I know you were more brave tonight than most of my trained soldiers. I know. He stops, breathes, tries again. I know that when I thought they might hurt you, something in me broke. Something that's never broken before. Something I didn't know could break. And now, I don't know how to put it back. Mirabel stares at him. This beautiful, dangerous man who controls an empire with ruthless precision, whose reputation could make grown men weep, who moves through violence like art. He's unmade right now, vulnerable, because of her. This is insane, she whispers. Yes, we met tonight. I know. You live in a world that kills people. I clean penthouses and visit my mother on Sundays and dream about saving enough money to finish my nursing degree. This doesn't, I know. He reaches out slowly, carefully, like she's something precious that might shatter. His fingers brush her jaw, and she can feel him trembling. The Ice Prince is trembling. Tell me to stop. Tell me you want nothing to do with this, with me, with any of it. Tell me to take you home and never contact you again. Tell me, and I will. I swear I will. But if you don't, if there's any part of you that feels what I'm feeling, she kisses him, and the world stops. Everything. The danger, the blood, the fear, the insanity of this entire night. It all falls away until there's just this. His sharp intake of breath. The way his hand comes up to cradle the back of her head like she's something holy. The way he kisses her back with a desperation that steals her breath. Like he's been starving for something he didn't know existed until this moment. When they finally break apart, both gasping, Junwoo presses his forehead to hers. His eyes are closed. His jaw is tight. He's shaking harder now. Mirabel. Her name on his lips sounds like a prayer and a curse. You don't know what you're doing. Neither do you, she whispers back. That's the point. He laughs, breathless and broken. I've never not known what I was doing, not once in my life. And now? He pulls back just enough to look at her, and the vulnerability in his eyes is almost too much to bear. Now I can't think, can't plan, can't see past this moment with you. That's dangerous. That's how people in my world die. Then maybe you need to stop thinking for once. If I stop thinking, I won't be able to stop at all. The weight of those words hangs between them. Promise, warning, truth. Mirabel knows she should be terrified, should run, should get as far from this man and his blood-soaked empire as possible. But when she looks at him, really looks at him, she doesn't see the Ice Prince. She sees someone just as lost as she is. Just as overwhelmed by this impossible thing crackling between them. Take me home, she says finally. But come inside. Just for a while. Just to, I don't know. Breathe. He hesitates, then nods. Her apartment is small. Nothing like the penthouse she cleans, but it's hers. Photos of her mother on the walls. Nursing textbooks stacked on the coffee table. The smell of the coconut oil she uses in her hair. It's ordinary, safe, real. Everything his world isn't. Junwoo stands in the middle of her tiny living room, looking completely out of place in his expensive suit. This creature of designer violence and controlled chaos, surrounded by her simple, hard-earned life. He's staring at a photo of her and her mother, taken last Christmas, both of them laughing at something her uncle said off camera. "She looks like you," he says quietly. Same smile, same fire in the eyes. "She's stronger than I'll ever be. Came here with nothing, built a life, raised me alone. Taught me that kindness isn't weakness, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise." Mirabel moves to stand beside him, looking at the photo. "Your father's kindness saved her life. That surgery, she would have died without it. So when I saw them taking him, when I realized what was happening, I had to do something. You could have called the police. Your father is a mafia king. The police wouldn't have helped. They're either on his payroll or too scared to cross him. I knew that. But I also knew where his funeral was happening. Knew that if he had people who loved him, they'd be there. So I ran." Junwoo turns to face her fully. "You're either incredibly brave or incredibly naive. Maybe both. Definitely both." He reaches out, tucks a curl behind her ear. The gesture is so tender, so at odds with everything she knows about him, that it makes her chest ache. "I need to tell you something about what happens now, about what being in my life means." "I'm listening. My father is alive, but he's weak. He'll need months to recover. Which means I'm in charge now. Which means every enemy he's ever made will be testing me, seeing if I'm as strong as he was, if I'm worthy of the empire. And they'll look for weaknesses, for leverage, for anything they can exploit." His thumb traces her jawline. "If they see you with me, you become that leverage. Your mother becomes that leverage. Your friends, your co-workers, anyone you care about. They all become weapons someone could use against me, against us." "So what are you saying?" "I'm saying that if we do this, if we try to make this work, I need to protect you. Which means guards, surveillance, a different apartment, somewhere secure. A cover story for why you're suddenly important to me. It means your life changes completely. It means giving up privacy, freedom, maybe even your dreams of nursing school, because being close to me paints a target on your back." He pauses, swallows hard. "I'm saying that the smart thing, the right thing, would be for me to walk out that door right now and never come back. To keep you safe by keeping you away from me. But His voice breaks. "I don't think I can. And I hate myself for that. For being selfish enough to want you even when it puts you in danger." Mirabel processes this. The weight of it. The reality of what he's offering. A life in the shadows. Always looking over her shoulder. Always one step away from violence. It's insane. Impossible. Everything she's never wanted. But when she looks at him, at this powerful man brought to his knees by feeling something real for the first time, she realizes she's already made her choice. Made it the moment she kissed him. Maybe even before that. Maybe the moment he looked at her in that chapel like she was the answer to a question he didn't know he'd been asking. "I need to think," she says. "Not about whether I want this. I think I already know the answer to that, which is probably crazy, but about how to do this, how to protect my mother, how to keep some part of my life that's mine, how to not lose myself completely." "That's fair, that's smart. Give me 3 days. Let me talk to my mother. Figure out what I'm willing to risk, and then..." She takes a breath. "And then I'll give you my answer." He nods, starts to step back, but she catches his wrist. "Stay tonight," she says. "Not, I don't mean, just stay. On the couch. I don't want to be alone. Not after everything that happened. And I think you don't either." Something in his expression cracks open. Relief. Gratitude. Need. "Okay." They don't sleep much. They talk instead, sitting on opposite ends of her small couch. the distance between them both necessary and agonizing. He tells her about growing up in his father's world, about learning violence before he learned to read, about the weight of expectations and the coldness required to survive. She tells him about Nigeria, about leaving when she was 12, about the difficulty of being an immigrant in a country that didn't always want her, about choosing nursing because she wanted to heal things in a world that kept breaking them. Somewhere around 3 in the morning, exhaustion wins. She falls asleep curled into the corner of the couch. When she wakes at dawn, there's a blanket draped over her that wasn't there before. And Junwoo is gone. But there's a note on her coffee table in sharp, precise handwriting. 3 days. Take all the time you need, but know that I'm already counting the hours. J. The next 72 hours are the strangest of Mirabel's life. She goes to work, but there are men in suits watching the building now. Not threatening, just there. She visits her mother in the hospital where she's recovering from her surgery, and her mother takes one look at her face and knows something has changed. Tell me, her mother says in Yoruba, the language of truth between them. So Mirabel does. All of it. The kidnapping, the chapel, the warehouse, the kiss, the impossible choice she's facing. Her mother listens without interruption, her dark eyes unreadable. When Mirabel finishes, her mother is quiet for a long moment. Then, "Do you love him?" "I barely know him." "That's not what I asked." Mirabel thinks about Junwoo's hands trembling when he touched her face, about the way he looked at her like she was light in a dark world, about 3 days feeling like an eternity because she can't stop thinking about him. "I don't know if it's love," she says honestly, "but it's something big. Something that scares me and thrills me and makes me feel more alive than I've felt in years." "Then you already know your answer." Her mother reaches out, takes her hand. "Your father, your real father, before he died, he was a dangerous man too. Not like this boy's father, but dangerous in his own way. Passionate, intense, impossible to resist. Everyone told me to stay away, and maybe they were right. Maybe if I had, my life would have been easier. But easier isn't always better. And I got you, so I can't regret it." She squeezes Mirabel's hand. "This boy, he will put you in danger, but he will also protect you with everything he has. I can tell. It's in the way he's had men watching over me since that night, making sure I'm safe, that I have everything I need. He hasn't even met me, but he protects me because I matter to you. That's not a small thing. So, you think I should do this?" "I think you will do this regardless of what I think. But yes, I think you should follow your heart, and I think you should make him work for it. Make him prove he's worthy. Don't make it easy." Mirabel laughs despite herself. "You want me to make a Mafia prince work for it? I want you to make him see that you're the prize, not him. That your love is a gift, not a given. If he's as smart as you say, he already knows that. But remind him anyway." On the third day, exactly 72 hours after she asked for time, Mirabel's phone rings. Unknown number, but she knows who it is before she answers. "Have you decided?" Junwoo's voice is carefully neutral, but she can hear the tension underneath. The fear that she'll say no. "Meet me at the bridge, where you pulled over. Sunset." "I'll be there." She arrives first, watches the sun paint the Han River in gold and crimson. When his car pulls up and he steps out, her breath catches. He's in casual clothes this time, jeans and a simple black shirt. No armor of expensive suits. He looks younger, more vulnerable, more real. He stops a few feet away, giving her space. Waiting. "I talked to my mother," Mirabel says. "She told me I should make you work for this. Make you prove you're worthy." Something flickers in his eyes. Hope? Relief? She's right. I should have to prove it. I will prove it. She also said your men have been watching over her, making sure she's comfortable, safe. Of course. She's important to you. That makes her important to me. You haven't even met her. I will, if you'll let me. I want to meet the woman who raised you, who taught you to be brave and kind in a world that tried to make you neither. Mirabel takes a step closer, then another, until she's standing right in front of him, close enough to see the gold flecks in his eyes again, close enough to feel the heat of him. I have conditions, she says. Name them. I still visit my mother whenever I want. I don't care about security protocols or danger. She's non-negotiable. Agreed. I'll make sure it's safe, but you'll never be kept from her. I want to finish my nursing degree, even if it's slower, even if it's harder with everything else. I need that dream to still be mine. I'll hire the best tutors, arrange for private classes if needed, whatever it takes. And I need space sometimes. I need to not feel suffocated. I need to know I can still breathe even when your world is crushing down. I'll try. I can't promise I won't be overprotective, but I'll try to give you room. He reaches out slowly, cups her face in both hands. Anything else? Just one more thing. She looks up at him, heart pounding. Don't make me regret this. Don't make me wish I'd run. Promise me that whatever happens, whatever danger comes, you'll always see me as me. Not as leverage, not as weakness, but as your equal. As someone who chose you not because of your power but in spite of it. I promise. His voice is rough with emotion. I swear on everything I have, everything I am. I will spend every day proving that your faith in me wasn't misplaced, that choosing me was the right choice. He leans down, presses his forehead to hers. I love you. I know it's too soon. I know it sounds insane, but I've never been more certain of anything. I love you, Mirabel, and I will protect you, cherish you, fight for you, die for you if I have to. She believes him. God help her, she believes every word. I love you too, she whispers, and I choose you. I choose this. I choose us. He kisses her then, and it's different from the first time. Less desperate, more certain. A promise sealed. A future beginning. When they break apart, the sun has set completely. The city lights turning the river into a ribbon of stars. So what happens now? She asks. Now I take you to meet my father. He's been asking about you. Wants to thank you properly for trying to save him, for being brave enough to scream the truth when no one else would. He knows about us? He figured it out the moment I told him I'd put your protection above strategic value. He said. Junwoo smiles, and it's the first real smile she's seen from him. It transforms his face, makes him look almost boyish. He said it's about time something made me feel again, that I'd been ice for too long, that you might just be the best thing that's ever happened to me. Smart man. The smartest. And terrifying. But you'll like him. They drive to a private hospital, heavily guarded, where Seo Daiwan is recovering in a suite that looks more like a luxury apartment than a medical facility. The Mafia king is still bruised, still healing, but his eyes are sharp when they land on Mirabel. So you're the one who interrupted my funeral, he says, and there's amusement in his voice. I'm sorry about that, Mirabel says, though, in my defense, you weren't actually in the coffin. He laughs, then winces. Don't make me laugh, it hurts. But thank you, for caring, for trying, for being exactly what my son needed even if he didn't know it yet. He looks at Junwoo. You're serious about this girl. More serious than I've ever been about anything. Good. It's about time. You have my blessing. Not that you need it, but you have it anyway. Daewon turns back to Mirabel. He will be possessive, overprotective, occasionally infuriating, but he will love you with everything he has. That's the CO way. We don't do anything halfway, especially not love. I'm beginning to understand that, Mirabel says. They stay for an hour, talking, laughing, the surreal normalcy of it all making Mirabel's head spin. This is her life now. Mafia kings and dangerous men and love that defies logic. When they finally leave, Junwoo takes her hand as they walk to the car. There's one more thing I need to show you, he says. He drives her to a building she doesn't recognize, upscale and modern. Uses a keycard to access the top floor. Opens the door to a penthouse that takes her breath away. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Tasteful furniture. A kitchen that looks like it belongs in a magazine. This is yours, he says. If you want it. Secure building. 24-hour security. Close to your mother's hospital. Close to the university where you'll finish your degree. But far enough from my primary residences that you'll have space, independence, a place that's yours. Mirabel walks through the space, touching surfaces, looking out the windows. It's beautiful. Perfect. Everything she never knew she wanted. You bought me an apartment. I'm buying you a life where you can be safe and still be you. Where loving me doesn't mean losing yourself. He comes up behind her, wraps his arms around her waist. Say yes. Say you'll move in. Say you'll let me take care of you the way you deserve. She turns in his arms, looks up at him. This man who rules an empire but trembles when he touches her. This man who would burn the world to keep her safe. This man she's somehow fallen impossibly, irrevocably in love with. Yes, she says. To all of it. Yes. He kisses her again, and this time it's slow, deep, full of promise. When he lifts her into his arms and carries her toward the bedroom, she doesn't protest. When clothes fall away and hands explore, and breath mingles with whispered names, it feels like the most natural thing in the world. The intimacy is tender and fierce, vulnerable and powerful, everything she never knew she needed. And when they finally collapse together, tangled in expensive sheets, hearts pounding in sync, she knows with absolute certainty that she's exactly where she's supposed to be. Later, wrapped in his arms, his fingers tracing lazy patterns on her skin, she whispers, "What happens when the danger comes? Because it will come. You know it will. When it comes, we face it together," he says. "You're not alone anymore. Neither am I. That's what this means. That's what choosing each other means. Whatever storms hit, we weather them side by side. Promise?" "I promise. Now and forever. You're mine, Mirabel. And I'm yours. Nothing will change that. Nothing will take you from me. I'll make sure of it." And somehow, impossibly, she believes him. 6 months later, Mirabel stands in front of a mirror adjusting her white dress. Simple, elegant, perfect for a small wedding ceremony. Her mother is beside her, tears streaming down her face, helping with the veil. "You're sure?" her mother asks one last time. "I'm sure." Outside, in a private garden secured by Junwoo's people, a small group has gathered. Daewon, recovered now and grinning like he's just won the lottery. Key members of the family who've come to respect the brave cleaner who stole their prince's heart. And Junwoo, standing at the altar in a sharp suit, looking more nervous than she's ever seen him. When she walks down the aisle, his expression transforms. Love, wonder, gratitude. Everything she feels reflected back at her. When she reaches him, he takes her hands, and they're trembling again. "You're shaking," she whispers. "I'm terrified," he admits. "Terrified I'll wake up, and this will be a dream. Terrified I don't deserve you. Terrified of how much I love you." "Good," she says, "because I'm terrified too. But we're doing this anyway." The ceremony is simple, The vows are heartfelt. And when the officiant pronounces them husband and wife, when Junwoo kisses her like she's air and he's been drowning, Mirabel knows that every crazy choice that led her here was worth it. Later, at the reception, Daewon raises a glass. To the woman who interrupted my funeral and stole my son's heart, may your love be as fierce as your courage. May your life together be filled with joy. And may you always remember that the best love stories start with someone brave enough to scream the truth even when the world tells them to stay silent. Everyone drinks. Everyone cheers. And Mirabel, wrapped in her husband's arms, feels something settle in her chest. Peace, certainty, home. This is her life now. Dangerous and beautiful and impossible and perfect. And she wouldn't change a single moment, not even the blood-soaked uniform, not even the chapel, not even the terror. Because all of it led her here, to him, to this, to forever. And that, she thinks as Junwoo spins her onto the dance floor, is worth everything.